Did you know that behind the world's most famous monument to love lies a deathbed promise, a heartbreaking loss, and a lifetime of sorrow? A man before whom an entire empire bowed, a ruler blessed with unimaginable wealth, power, and glory. But one day, he lost the one person that no amount of power or treasure could ever bring back. Before she died, she asked her husband to make two promises. And to fulfill those promises, he created what would become the most famous symbol of love in human history, the Taj Mahal. But that isn't where the story ends. Because the emperor who built a monument for love would eventually be imprisoned by his own son. Why? What were those final promises? And how did one of history's greatest love stories end in such a tragic way? Let's uncover the extraordinary story of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal. The year was 1607. The bustling Meena Bazaar in Agra was alive with color, music, and celebration. Among the crowd walked a 15-year-old prince named Khurram. The young prince who would later become known to the world as Shah Jahan. Then suddenly, his eyes stopped on a young girl standing at a market stall. She was graceful, beautiful, and captivating. Her name was Arjuman Banu Begum. According to popular accounts, the prince was instantly enchanted. It was a moment that would change history forever. But royal love was never simple. Politics stood in the way. Power stood in the way. And so did the strict rules of the imperial court. Although they cared deeply for one another, they had to wait years before they could be together. Finally, in 1612, they were married in one of the most magnificent royal weddings of the Mughal Empire. After their marriage, Prince Khurram gave his beloved wife a new title, Mumtaz Mahal, meaning the chosen one of the palace, or the jewel of the palace. It was more than a name. It was a symbol of his admiration and devotion. Mumtaz was not merely an empress. She was Shah Jahan's closest companion, his most trusted confidant, and one of the most influential people in his life. She often accompanied him on military campaigns and remained by his side through triumphs and hardships alike. Over the years, they built a large family together. Their bond seemed unbreakable, and their love only grew stronger with time. It seemed as though nothing could ever separate them. But fate had already written a different ending. The year was 1631. The Mughal Empire was at the height of its power. While Shah Jahan was away on a military campaign, Mumtaz Mahal went into labor with their 14th child. Complications soon arose. The palace was filled with fear and uncertainty. Doctors fought desperately to save her. Shah Jahan waited anxiously for news. But then, the devastating message arrived. Mumtaz Mahal was dead. She was only 38 years old. According to a popular legend, before her death, she asked Shah Jahan for two promises. First, that he would never marry again, and second, that he would build a monument in her memory unlike anything the world had ever seen. With tears in his eyes, Shah Jahan agreed. He had no idea that this promise would make both of them immortal in history. After Mumtaz's death, Shah Jahan was never the same. Celebrations at court faded away. Music grew silent. The atmosphere of the empire changed. Historical accounts describe how grief visibly transformed him. The mighty emperor who ruled millions had become a broken-hearted husband, mourning the love of his life. Then began one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history. Master craftsmen and architects were brought from across Asia. Thousands of workers labored for years. Brilliant white marble was transported from distant quarries. Rare gemstones and precious materials were gathered from across the empire and beyond. Year after year, the monument slowly took shape, and eventually, on the banks of the Yamuna River, rose a masterpiece unlike any other, the Taj Mahal. Today, it remains one of the most recognizable buildings on Earth, a symbol of beauty, a symbol of devotion, and a symbol of everlasting love. But Shah Jahan's greatest tragedy was still ahead. A bitter struggle for the throne erupted among his sons. In the end, the victorious prince was Aurangzeb. After seizing power, Aurangzeb imprisoned his own father. The man who once ruled one of the richest empires in the world became a prisoner, confined within his own palace. Inside a chamber of Agra fort, Shah Jahan spent the final years of his life. From his window, he could see the Taj Mahal in the distance. Every day, he gazed at the white marble monument, the resting place of the woman he loved more than anything else. He had lost his throne, he had lost his power, but he had never lost his love. For 8 long years, that view became his final connection to Mumtaz. Then in 1666, Shah Jahan took his last breath. After his death, he was laid to rest beside Mumtaz Mahal. At last, they were reunited. Centuries have passed since then. The Mughal Empire is gone. Many kings and rulers have faded from memory, but the story of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal continues to live on, because some love stories outlast time itself, and that is why the Taj Mahal is more than a tomb. It is the embodiment of devotion, a monument built from grief, a tribute to a beloved wife, and one of the most famous love stories in human history. The Taj Mahal stands today not only as a wonder of architecture, but as a timeless reminder that true love can leave a mark on the world forever.